Hi, it's Bumbleberry, and we are back to find out the secrets of Damien via Diana.
What are you talking about? Diana chuckled, which made me slightly sick to my stomach for some
reason. Did Damien tell you about what he lived through?
No. He showed me when he left. He met
No, not that. Before that. Did he show you anything before that?
Well, he was scorned by the Demon Lord.
He didn't show you everything, did he?
Probably not. Why would he need to? He showed me what he needed to.
I don't need to show her anything else.
Hello, Damien. I turned to see Damien glaring at Diana with a scary glare. I felt dark shivers run down my spine as I stared at him.
Ah, Damien. Right on cue. I was just about to show her why you hate your life and why you have a human fetish.
Oh, really?
You will not show her anything.
I want to know. I'm curious.
Oh, I won't. Funny. I don't believe you get to tell me what to do, bastard son.
Before Damien or I could leap at her throat, Diana snapped her fingers, suddenly making the room spin. I quickly grabbed onto Damien, who held me close as the room slowly began to change from my room to the demon castle. I looked around, feeling unable to move from Damien's embrace out of dizziness. I looked at Diana, who was leaning on a pillar on the far side of the room with a smirk. However, my focus gathered on a pair of demons, one of them being the demon servant that was with the demon lord, carrying sheets and books across the room.
Damn that woman, ordering us around! I bet she thinks she's all high and mighty just because she bore that bastard son. Well, she's no queen. She's a simple harem girl. She'll never be queen. The demon lord reminds her that every bloody night. You'd think she'd let it sink in.
Why is this guy talking to himself about this kind of stuff, though? The snort that erupted from the servant's nose disgusted me to no end. How vile was this creature? Who is he talking about?
And about that boy, what do the other noble sons think about him? They treat him like an equal. He's no noble son, and he will never be. He's a bastard child that doesn't know his place, just like his bitch mother.
How does Diana have access to this?
He could read minds from a mile away.
Then let him read mine. I don't care. That boy's a monstrosity never meant to be born.
Excuse me. Oh, he looks angry. The servant cleared his throat, however, at the sight of the demon Damien, who was nearby, standing with almost dead-cold look on his face.
Ah, you.
Yes, me. I don't need to be a mile away to hear your thoughts.
Boy, what?
What I'm doing out of my room is no longer your concern. I may be a bastard, but I'm the Demon Lord's son regardless. I won't take insults from you anymore.
Fight him.
Then what are you going to do, bastard son?
Damien started to step forward. I don't know why, but the room suddenly felt cold and dark as Damien started to approach the servant.
I'm finally gonna shut you up.
Oh my gosh,
you threaten me, you threaten him!
Damien's glare could practically kill. I was afraid to even watch, but I continued, hoping not to see blood spill from this fight. Damien continued to walk towards the servant, towering over him like a shadow.
I've taken your insults for long enough. Now, I get peace.
Stay away!
I've had enough of you.
Damien stopped, turning his head to look in the archway in surprise.
Mother?
Oh, hey, she has a shroud. She's not like a ball of nothingness. The demon servant slowly turned, also matching Damien's surprise as they looked to the archway. A figure, completely covered in a red sheet, stepped out into the hall, slowly walking to Damien. The thick sound of chains echoed in the room, dragging across the stone floor. I felt something in my gut tighten, unsure of what was going on, but positive something wasn't right about it. However, the familiar smell of blood entered my nose. Only it was fresher and much more potent. What is that face he's making right now, by the way? My gaze slowly trailed down to the stone floor, only for me to go wide-eyed at the sight. Blood brushed over it by the sheet as the woman walked, painted to the stone a dark red and almost black color at the woman's wake. I looked back to the mother, now worried she was bleeding underneath the sheet.
Leave us.
The mother sounded almost enchanting, despite only saying 2 words in her arrival. I almost let it slip from my mind that this was merely a vision. Hi. The servant glared before walking off, mumbling incoherently under his breath. The other demons with him giggled at the servant's inability to fight back. I guess Damien's mother was powerful enough to silence anyone. However, one fact stuck out to me. His mother was a harem girl. I imagined chains on her covered feet, making me frown. It was terrible to imagine.
What are you doing out? He'll hurt you if you aren't...
Damien stopped talking, staring at the woman walking towards him in a suddenly calm demeanor. A hand slipped out from the curtain and gently caressed Damien's cheek, making him almost melt into the hand. Damien looked at his mother, a look of hopelessness on his face.
Why do you want me to turn around?
Just listen to my thoughts, like you always do.
I watched as Damien slowly nodded and turned around.
As you wish.
Focus on my thoughts.
I could tell that Damien was holding his breath. He must have cared very deeply for his mother. It was incredibly sweet. Silence lingered in the room, obviously because of Damien listening to his mother's thoughts. It was almost awkward to watch. The hand that held Damien gently petted over his hair. The breath that Damien was holding slowly was let loose, letting Damien relax. Maybe she was calming him down. He was pretty angry, but why make him turn around? All she was doing was petting him head and talking to him in her mind. It seemed surreal. Something was wrong. I looked around at the room, trying to see what was going on behind the scene. Was someone going to stop them? My eyes landed on a dark shadow of a woman walking towards the couple with a knife in her hand. She had shackles with chains on her neck, hands, and feet, but they remained silent as the woman neared the couple.
I'm sorry.
All of a sudden, the mother brought out her other hand and took a hold of Damien's horn, pushing him to his knees. Damien, no! What is this lady doing? She started to run at the couple, raising the knife higher above her head. I instantly wanted to move to run and protect Damien. I remained still, watching the scene unfurl before me.
No!
Damien kicked back, causing his mother to buckle and fall back and release his horns. Damien quickly turned and grabbed hold of the Shadow's arms, tightening his grip on them. The Shadow started to scream and bite at Damien desperately. Damien glared and threw the Shadow at the nearby pillar, making it disappear and drop the knife it was holding. I looked to the mother and regretted looking. The sheet that was wrapped around her wasn't long enough to cover her as she fell, the edge landing over her stomach and covering her upper body. The lower half of her body, though, was covered with multiple different scars and blood. Her ankles were both shackled to different lines of broken-off chains. Her legs were together. Ew, the number of scars and blood only increased the further up they went. The poor woman. I stared as the demon Damien looked at his mother in shock and heartbreak. The real Damien around me gripped me tighter.
Why?
In an instant, his mother raised her hand to the fallen knife, tensing her fingers to bare her nails.
The knife flew off the ground and into the woman's hand, making her grip over the handle tightly.
Enough. I can't. I don't want to live like this anymore. I won't let him have me again. I won't let you invade my mind again.
What? The woman quickly got up onto her knees and raised the knife over her head. I felt my mind screaming as I gasped.
I can't take it anymore! I can't!
No! Stop!
Enough!
What are you doing? Damien's mother slammed the knife into her own body, curling herself over the stab. After a choked sob of breath, the woman fell to the ground, curled into a ball as blood pooled from under her and the already blood-red shirt. Why would you show me that, Diana? That is not his fault at all. At all. Like, even remotely. The world around me shattered at his voice, stabbing through my heart and my stomach. Like glass, the world fell apart and I was left in darkness. The real Damien gripped onto me, burying his face in my shoulder as I gripped to his arms. Did that really happen? What did I witness? Why would Diana open this kind of wound for Damien? Finally, the world around me reformed back to my room with Diana by the window.
The Demon Lord, despite his sadistic pleasures, loved Damien's mother beyond anything else, even his own wives. When she killed herself, the Demon Lord blamed Damien and his ability to read minds. The only ones who convinced him not to kill Damien were his brothers. So the Demon Lord granted Damien his life. But he would be doomed to become a lowly slave as soon as the eldest became lord.
I looked to Damien, who had a face of both murderous hatred and pure sadness as he glared at Diana. The woman he glared at, however, simply chuckled.
So, one day, he was visited by an angel who told him about humans and painted him a pretty picture about them. Now, he's obsessed with it.
Why are you telling me this? Why are you doing all of this?
To butter you both up, of course. I'm about to give him the chance to have his wish granted.
Damien and I stared in pure disbelief. Was Diana serious? She was a nut job. Diana laughed, seeing both of our faces.
I needed to see how well you could handle his past. You can't have true love without seeing all sides of your love, now can you?
Diana then looked fully to Damien, crossing her arms. Something about this struck a fear chord within me, but I watched in silence.
I offer you this, bastard son. I have the ability to turn you completely human. No magic, no mind reading.
You're
Oh.
lying.
Why can't James teach it? Yeah, Damien would know if you're lying.
Am I? Read my mind. See for yourself.
Oh, he only went wide-eyed at her.
You're not. But...
That's right. Your humanity for your brothers.
I looked to Diana in surprise. What? She wanted him to hand his brothers over to her? That was underhanded and cruel.
Think about it, Damien. You can finally be human. You won't hurt anyone anymore. You won't put her in danger.
I could see Damien look at me, instinctively making me look back at him. He had a look of fear which scared me. Was he going to say yes? Was he going to say no? I wouldn't know what to do in this
All
situation.
I ask is that you completely willingly let me take your brothers back home. No big deal if that means you get to be a human with the girl of your dreams, right?
Yeah, but they saved his
No.
life. It's only fair.
Excuse me?
I said no. I will not give my brothers over to you.
I could see her... I could see Diana's anger flare up like a snake ready to strike.
You do realize what you're denying yourself, right? You're giving up your one chance to become human.
I'd rather remain a demon than let my brothers be your slaves. Now leave.
Diana gripped her hands into fists by her sides and glared daggers at Damien. However, she didn't move to strike. She raised one of her hands and rubbed her temple in pure anger.
Then I'm curious, Damien. What would you trade for your humanity? You wouldn't go so far as to have sex with me for it, would you?
Ew! What? Damien remained silent. Silent? Excuse me? I looked at Damien, expecting him to answer, but why was he not replying? My mind went into a mini frenzy. Was he... What? Was he willing to have sex with Diana for it? You better not. I will punch you in the face. Diana let a large surprised smile appear on her face at Damien's silence.
Or would you? Interesting. And if I were to offer that?
Why? Would having sex with her, consider, a queen or something like that? I don't know. Again, silence. Damien wouldn't. He couldn't. Not with her. No way. Yet at the same time, I felt that he was the master of his fate. He had to say yes or no. It wasn't my place to decide that kind of change. One part of me felt betrayed, but the other part of me almost wanted him to go through with the idea. For Damien's humanity. He remained silent still. Why was he not making a choice? Diana turned to her gaze to me before smirking.
Ah, I see. Well, I guess you've proven useless to me. You're not going to say yes with your little princess around.
Oh!
However, in case you do change your mind, call me. I'll be around.
Ew! And with that, Diana left us alone in my room. Oops. I finally let out the air I was unconsciously holding in my chest. Relaxing from the ordeal, Damien stepped to me and helped me gently, surprising me.
Are you all right?
Why didn't you say no? You big jerk. He let out a sigh. I placed my hands around him, returning the embrace slightly. I could hear his heartbeat. He held me close in his arms, and I felt safe beyond words. Are you okay?
Yeah, I am.
I looked up at Damien, happy that he was okay. Damien blushed, moving a strand of hair from my face to look down at me. However, he suddenly pulled away, looking down at his feet.
I should go. You still need rest.
What? He ran out of the room? Did that just happen? Oh, heck no! You're coming with me. There was no way I was letting him get away from me after all of this. I quickly followed him out of the room, spotting him turn the corner to go downstairs into the lobby. I followed him, quietly unsure of where he was going, but determined to follow him to his destination. To my surprise, he turned a corner and pushed open a wall. What? When did this... How did Damien know of this place? I walked down a small flight of stairs and continued through the dark secret hallway, unsure of what to see at the end. What was my grandfather hiding in here? Was it a magic room? Was it a secret study? I didn't know. I felt the steam gently brush against my skin, making me shiver slightly. A boiler room? I was wrong. I have a spa? When I opened the door, the sight made me gasp. I was greeted by a hot spring, private and isolated from the world. Was it magic? Was it just placed conveniently? I was unsure. However, my eyes traveled to Damien, who was staring at me, unsurprised that I had followed. Considering he could read minds, yeah.
Your grandfather told me of this place.
When? Oh my gosh. Phone? Really? Really right now?
When we first came here, before we had dinner, remember?
No. My mind went back to the day we met, remembering when Damien was looking at empty space and speaking to it. I knew there was something going on, but I didn't know what. You were talking to my...
He died, yes, but his spirit remained here while Malix chased us.
What?
Once Malix was no longer a threat, he left this place, knowing that we would take care of you.
Excuse me? I could not believe what I was hearing. Had he been watching over me?
He didn't want you to be alone when you moved in. When we were attacked, he guided us to this house. We didn't know it was to protect you until after you went to bed that night.
There was so much information, I felt nauseous. I felt myself falling back before Damien rushed over and held me close.
Whoa, careful!
I gripped onto Damien, feeling his warmth surround me. Everything was happening so fast, I didn't know how to contain it all. Yet for some reason, I felt safe and secure in Damien's embrace. Was I crazy? Probably at this rate, but I didn't care to think about it. My mind went from spastic to crazed and calm in peace in his arms. He wasn't using his incubus powers on me, though. I looked to Damien, seeing at last a deep love in his eyes. He cared for me and wanted to protect me beyond anything else in this world. He would have left long ago if that wasn't the case. Hearing my thoughts, Damien smiled at me and nodded, affirming them. I felt my heart flutter a bit, making me forget what chaos I went through. You really love me?
Yes, I do love you. More than anything.
Oh. Damien gently caressed my cheek, leaning his forehead against mine.
I wanted to tell you everything sooner, but I couldn't find the words. Now everything's come at you at once, and I really...
I brought my hand up, silencing Damien again. I understand, just tell me things earlier next time. Damien let out a small laugh and nodded. I knew he'd make it up to me one day, but one question festered in my mind. Obviously, Damien was curious too.
Do you love me?
I had conflicting feelings. I felt a storm raging in my chest, trying to dig up the answer. With my mind still frazzled, I let my heart guide my answer. Oh, that's so sad if you caress his cheek. I will love you too, Damien. I loved him and wanted to give him exactly what he wanted. I gently leaned in, letting my lips finally touch his gingerly. Damien let out almost a surprised gasp against my lips before wrapping both of his arms around my waist, pulling me close to him. I moved my arms up and around his neck, feeling the kiss between us deepen to a heated height. My chest was pounding and making me see and feel fireworks in my head. Damien was everything I desired. He was the man I wanted, demon or not. It was all so supernatural, magic, or Cupid, and I found myself combing my hands through his hair. He softly trembled at my touch. He gently nibbled my lower lip, asking me to deepen the kiss between us even further. His tongue gently danced with mine as one of his hands slid up my back and cradled my head. He made me cling to him as the heat of our kiss rose higher and higher. Gently, though, Damien slowed the kiss down and pulled away, staring down at me. His eyes burned for me, wanting me to melt and buckle in his arms. I could feel myself melt already. Damien opened his mouth to speak, but a very small blush ran along his cheeks, and he was reduced to shy silence. He tried to find the words to say in my eyes. I knew exactly what he wanted. He didn't need energy, though, right? Are you?
No, I just...
I stared wide-eyed, feeling a blush on my cheeks grow. I knew what he wanted. Me, 'cause I'm fabulous. I was stunned. Damien gently nuzzled my forehead, losing the blush and finally being able to speak.
If you don't want to, we don't have to. I'll understand.
I could feel my mind go numb and purr at the idea. Let's have him seduce me! Damien gently wrapped his arms around me and went back to kissing me passionately. He simply ran his fingers down his jacket and shirt, releasing the buttons and revealing his bare chest to me. I couldn't help but move one of my hands down to his chest, running my fingers over the crevices of his muscles. A pleasured purr escaped his throat, making me shiver slightly. Damien let both his shirt and jacket slide down from his arms to the ground before cradling my head in his hands and kissing me deeply. I felt heat rise in my body, making me undo the tie beneath my collar and release the buttons on my own shirt. Quickly, my shirt and missed. Damien stopped kissing me and stared in slight surprise. I was simply in a bra before I could feel the blush invade my cheeks. My shy side began to fester in my mind. Oh, he loves me. It's okay. Before I knew it, we were both stripped of clothing, surrounded by a cloud of steam. The heat between our bodies simply added to the warmth. Damien started to guide me, though, to the hot water of the spring. I looked at him with a slightly confused look. Here?
Why not?
My mind instantly agreed. Why not? Because water is not conducive to certain things. That's why. I followed Damien and cuddled close as we both stood in the water. It didn't take long for us to get back into the mood we were in, intensified by the heat of the spring. Damien pulled me close, knowing I was still shy, and began to kiss my lips over and over. Each kiss was his promise to keep me safe, keep me comfortable, love me. I kept my arms wrapped around him, taking each kiss he gave and giving my own in return. I didn't want to let him go. Uh-oh, the steam ran over our bodies, cleansing our skin as we held on to each other like it was the end of the world. Oh my gosh, there was like serious butt happening. They're kind of adorable. Although, never mind, I'm not going to say it. The fragrance of the spring engraved itself into my memory as I let him touch me and hold me to him. He was gentle and sweet, making sure to be attentive to every part of me. However, as he held me, I could slightly feel the shiver of his hands. He was nervous? Was I his first? He wasn't going to show it. He wanted me to enjoy this moment, but was afraid of screwing up. His shivering hands showed me his emotions perfectly. The pleasure between us would be heavenly, and we'd go through it together. I closed my eyes and gave myself to Damien. It all belonged to him, and he all belonged to me. We were loving. We held each other in the glow of the aftermath. We couldn't stay in the spring forever, though. Eventually, Damien managed to bring us to my room, laying both of us in my bed to relax. With his magic, we were dried off before we hit the sheets. I didn't know that was a magic power, drying people off. I nuzzled my head under Damien's chin as he held me close.
I love you.
I love you, too. Just to hear those words come from Damien's mouth made my heart flutter. To hear me answer made my soul warm in glee. I could feel both of us sink into a peaceful slumber together. It was the best sleep I had in days, and I was happy. I had love and I had my happiness. My life was simply perfect. I found myself staring into Damien's bare chest. I blushed, but I looked up to see Damien still sleeping. His sleeping face made me giggle, but the reality of the situation made my heart flutter. I was laying next to the man I had grown to love with all my heart. His warm embrace made me feel safe, and as our tender moment replayed in my head, I couldn't help but smile and snuggle into his chest further. Unconsciously, he held me tighter to his body, giving me more of his warmth. I didn't want to move, but then my core suddenly tightened and made me get outside. To Diana.
Before you get all huffy, I didn't come here to take your precious man away. By the way, how was it exactly? Demons are the best lovers, after all.
Oh, gosh. What do you want, Diana?
Well, I wanted to extend a deal to you. I promise you'll like it.
What, do you want to have sex with me?
Not
instead
even
of
to
him?
make Damien human?
I'm not giving you to the boys.
I'm not asking for the boys this time. Ugh.
She seems annoyed.
This whole trip has been a waste of my time and energy. All I want to do is go back home and take over my kingdom.
Then why don't you?
Because I need more energy if I want to even try to defend my home from that maniac demon lord. I may be brilliant, but I'm not exactly fortified to fight him.
I pressed my lips together in a flat line, not sure what Diana was wanting. I'm listening.
I'm willing to turn Damien human, if you're willing to give me your energy and his.
What are
Simple,
you talking
really.
about?
Give me the magic you're holstering in your body and let me take Damien's, and I'll be on my way, and you'll get a human boyfriend. A boring, plain, human boyfriend.
I couldn't believe my ears. Was Diana really offering this deal to me? How would you take this energy?
From you, a simple kiss will do. From him, that's a different story.
Ew, you can't have sex with
I
my
have
boyfriend.
to sleep with him.
No. No. I almost lunged at her. She must have been joking. Her sleep with him? No way in heck. Diana held her hands up in defense.
What you humans don't understand is how we demons work. A touch is a mere sip of energy, while sex is a pure energy transferal. Perfect for humans. A really passionate lovemaking session would drain any demon of their energy.
But he's...
Yes, he's your man, but I need the energy and you want him to get his wish. We both win, get it? I'll even throw in a memory spell. He won't even remember it.
Ew. How was she okay with this? How did she expect me to be okay with this? What if he doesn't want it? I'm not gonna let you raid...
If Damien doesn't want it. Silly girl, do you not understand what he's willing to do for his humanity?
This is a weird plotline. I froze. Anna smirked.
He's willing to have sex with me. He just won't say yes in front of you because he doesn't want to hurt you. It's rather pathetic.
I don't care that he's a demon. I couldn't believe my ears. Was this the truth? No way. It couldn't be. At the same time, it made sense. That would make sense why he was so silent the first time she asked him. Was it truly because he didn't want to hurt me, or was he actually not willing? Dana's voice broke through my thoughts.
By the way, I'm not a total bitch if that's what you're thinking. I will ask him first before doing anything.
What? She was going to ask him? Why? You'll ask him. What if he actually doesn't want to have sex with you for his humanity?
If he says no, I'll just toss him back here and not change him. I'm not willing to do it with someone who will say no to me.
Ooh, the way she talked about the deal annoyed me to no end. This was definitely a business deal, but it tore at my chest. Let him sleep with her and he'll become human. Don't and he'll remain a demon. No! Get out of town. She must have been crazier than I thought. Absolutely not. Dana sighed and stood at the railing and crossed her
I
arms.
hope you've made the right choice, dear. Living with a demon is not all it's cracked up to be.
I think I'll manage. What I wasn't expecting was for her to lift me into the air. What is she doing now? Oh my gosh.
Well, if I can't return home with the boys, I might as well return home with the power to fight back.
Are you... Oh, she's kissing me. Unfortunate. Gross. She was stronger and powerful. It was almost like looking at a new Diana. She then stepped back off the railing, making me catch my breath in my throat. She looked to be simply walking on the night air. Diana smirked at my sudden surprise.
May you never regret your choice, human. If you do, I'll happily come and take it away.
With a flick of her hair, Diana turned and walked away into the night, fading into the darkness like a shadow. I watched her fade away before looking back to the man in my bed. Did I make the right choice? My heart gave a gentle thump, giving me my answer. I did, and I'll never regret it as long as I live. Why wouldn't one of the other boys sleep with her who isn't attached to me? I feel like maybe Sam or Eric would be okay, or even James, since he was engaged to her. I walked back inside and gently crawled, not that I'd be okay with that, as the possessive lady I am, the safest arms I knew. I snuggled close to the warmth before closing my eyes. I was happy.
The rest of the story can be passed over. Dana was gone. I was normal. Oh, Damien was faithful to me, living with me. Wait, what? Damien cared for me and we remained close to each other. It was sweet, like a simple fairy tale ending. He didn't step over my boundaries. He remained faithful to me, living with me and serving me like a servant.
I need help around the house anyway. It's almost funny to think about. A demon becoming a servant to a human girl. Well, he should be my partner. The brothers went away. James is still the CEO. How dare you? And I could choose what I wanted. Damien will support me. I woke up. Come in. The door opened to reveal Damien with a small tray of food for me. A vase with a black and white rose sat beside a hot plate of pancakes, eggs, and bacon, decorating my breakfast beautifully.
Good morning. I made breakfast.
I simply smiled. It wasn't a dream. I still had Damien. I still felt the magic in the air around me. I wasn't alone. Damien walked over and pressed the tray on the bed across my legs.
Did you sleep well?
I did. I had a dream about everything that's happened to us.
What do you remember?
Did you? Whatever. He wanted me to speak my mind even though he could read it. Everything. How we met, how you cared for me. Everything. It was almost made me believe it was like a dream. Damien smiled and gently took my hand, kissing over the knuckles.
Well, if this is a dream, I hope it never ends.
Damien smiled his cutest smile, making my heart flutter slightly. His devotion to me was beyond my imagination. That was my happily ever after? What? Oh, I have to do the stupid thing again. Okay, fine. Let's let her. Damien's face popped back into my memory, reminding me of his desperate wish to become a human. I was able to grant it to him right here. Dana was a cruel woman.
Fine. Meaning you'll agree to my terms.
I agree to your terms.
Beautiful. Now.
Dana slid down the railing and walked to me, gently running a finger up my neck to under my chin.
Your energy first.
You know she has a crush on me.
Such an interesting human girl. Sad to see you give up your powers so easily.
It's for Damien.
Right. Now, speaking of the bastard son...
Then I walked in the bedroom and towards Damien, looking down at his sleeping figure.
Such a sweet thing.
How are you going to...
I'll enthrall him, take his energy, cleanse his body...
That's it. Just do it before I change my mind.
As you wish.
Dana chuckled before snapping her fingers, making Damien vanish from my bed. Remember to bring him back.
I will. A demon...
What?
What? Oh.
Dylan had a small laugh as I raised my
I brought
brow.
him to an isolated tear between our worlds. There and there
what?
he is.
Ew, and he's human!
Pity. Damien has...
Can you... Oh, gross. He was human, but he had to sleep with Diana to get it. What is going on? He was human. He was no longer a demon. I waited for him to realize he no longer had magic. He wouldn't be able to read my mind. He wouldn't be able to use his magic. His eyes landed on me and his face grew a happy smile.
More...
His voice instantly grew silent as he stared at me, his smile suddenly fading into a look of shock. His mouth opened, but his eyes showed me his speechless surprise. Damien couldn't read my thoughts. He kept his eyes on me as if he was trying to figure out he was in a dream. I gave a little smile to him. It was almost too cute to see him like this. He brought a hand to my face and ran it over my cheek.
I can't read your mind. I don't have magic anymore.
How is this happy music playing right now? Ridiculous. In exchange for magic and energy, Diana gave you your humanity. He began to water. His eyes began to water. I didn't know if he was angry or happy. I wasn't expecting him to grab me and hug me tight enough to press the air out of me. Oh! What melted my heart was the sound of Damien weeping into my shoulder.
I'm human. You made me human.
I am so disgusted right now. You're human now, Damien.
Thank you.
He pulled away slightly and pulled me into a kiss, one that was passionate and full of love. I imagined it to be one of the greatest kisses of all mankind, for Damien's love filled every part of my body. Ugh. Damien was truly happy. He was human as he always wanted, and he showed me his gratitude every day. The other boys decided to leave. Whatever. He would support me.
Are you okay?
No? I looked up at last to see Damien by the doorway smiling at me. I smiled back. I was just thinking.
Oh? What about? Really?
I wouldn't change anything.
You wouldn't change anything?
Well, I would. He knew something, I just didn't know
I
what.
know about the real deal that made me human.
I instantly felt myself go pale. He knew? How? Diana had put a spell on his memories to make him forget. What do you mean? Damien stood up and walked to my window, staring out of it.
My humanity, in exchange for your energy. And mine.
I quickly stood up. Damien,
I know that you agreed to let Diana take my energy if she agreed to remove my memories and make me human.
Damien. I walked over and tried to reach out to him. I felt myself stop before even touching him. The choice was coming back to haunt me. I felt hopeless and powerless. I didn't know what to do. My heart was ripping itself in two. However, Damien looked at me with a smile.
Well, Diana didn't make me have sex with her.
Yay! What? I looked to Damien, raising an eyebrow as he wrapped an arm around my waist and pulled me to his body.
She took my energy, yes, but through a ritual. Demons don't completely lose their energy through sex. So she decided I was not worth the lay and simply put me through a draining ritual, used only for demons who were going to be executed.
But she made a deal.
She didn't have to remove memories if she didn't have sex with me. She still kept to her word.
What? I was played. I was completely and utterly played. I am breaking up with Damien. Rude. Damien laughed at the obvious anger on my face, pulling me close and leaning his forehead on mine.
Still, to think you'd make me sleep with her just to get my humanity.
You wanted to be human, and there was no other way I could think of, and you didn't give me the happy ending when you were a demon. Damien kissed my forehead.
No. There wasn't any other way.
Why couldn't James learn this stuff? I'm sorry. Damien lifted my chin, making me look up at him. I felt completely guilty. I let him be taken over by Diana, and he could have slept with her for all his humanity.
Don't be sorry. You wanted me to be happy. If anything, you sacrificed a lot more than I could have.
I pressed my lips together, not wanting to feel more guilt. I knew he was trying to make me feel better, but I felt utterly gross for letting that choice happen. Damien laughed before he kissed my cheek, making my guilt slightly shudder.
I understand why, okay? Please, don't beat yourself up over this.
I felt tears run down my cheeks. I didn't even deserve to be held by him. I felt sick to my stomach. I tried to pull away, but Damien held me tighter, not letting me get away. No, let go.
Hey, calm down.
Damien pulled me closer, pulling my head to his chest and trying to soothe my crying. I gripped onto him, conflicted at myself. I wanted to get away from him, but I needed to hold him.
Diana thought you were very brave to make that decision. She respected you for making that kind of sacrifice. It's not easy to give the one you love away like that for their happiness.
Damien lifted my head once again, a world of love within his eyes.
I love you so much. I don't deserve your love at all. You gave me everything. You made me human. For that, I can never repay you.
Damien. Before I could finish, Damien pulled me into a kiss. It reminded me of all the love we shared and all the love we would share together. I gripped onto his shoulders as he held me close. I pulled away from the kiss slowly, looking up at him, still slightly pained and guilt. You forgive me? Damien smiled and lifted me up, wrapping his arms around my waist and looking up at me with the happiest and most loving smile on his face. I am not happy at all. Like, this is a cute picture.
A
Totally
lifetime
marked.
with the woman I love is well worth forgiving you.
I felt a large smile grow on my face, happy tears now painting over my cheeks. I love you, Damien.
I love you too.
I hate you. What is wrong with you? I didn't want to wake up if this was indeed a dream. I felt as light as a feather, not wanting to ever let go of this man in my life. There were no words that could describe the emotions within me. I felt joy, happiness, ecstatic high, all at once. Here I was with the man I would be with forever, holding me like I was his greatest treasure. The past was behind us. We had a future to meet. And that was my happily ever after. Damien's humanity. I hate you. I am so mad right now. I cannot even fully express it. Like, you guys had warned me, thankfully, that his storyline was a little different, but I didn't think different like this. Like, are you serious? This is a cute picture, though, right here. And he looks happy when he's kissing me, which is fine. Oh, I'm so mad. So mad. You are not my favorite playthrough at all. Rude. So, who is your favorite? For some reason, Damien ranked number 1 in the favorites of, like, in the poll of, like, the game page or whatever. It was Damien, Sam, then it was either Matthew or James, and then Eric was, like, tied for last with somebody. I can't remember who. But actually, I really liked Eric, biased because he was the first one I went with, and Matthew. Those were my 2 favorites. But what? Like, just, what? Anyway. I have some of the extras done. I might do a bonus video for that and of the bonus content. If you'd like to see it, let me know. Thank you so much for sticking with me through this whole series, and I hope you guys stay sweet. Please leave a like and comment if you feel so inclined, and have a great day. And do not let your loved ones sleep with other people. That's all I have to say. Alright, energy draining is done. Bye!